Hello everyone, my name is Priyanka Goswami, working as an assistant professor in GL Bajaj Institute of Management Research, Greater Noida. Today I am going to discuss with you methods of training, which is from the subject management concepts and organizational behavior. Let's start with the methods of training. So if I talk about methods of training is divided into two parts: on the job training and off the job training. On the job training is a training which usually conducted at the actual workplace of the employees. So that's a on the job training. And off the job training is where trainee learns at location other than their real work spot. Yes, in off the job training, normally trainee learn things apart from their actual workplace. That is off the job training. So training method is divided into two parts: on the job and off the job, and it is on the basis of the location, that if people learns things or enhance their skills or get training at their actual workplace, that is on the job training. And if people learn things apart from their actual workplace that is off the job training. If I discuss with you of on the job training, so on the job training again further divided into 5 parts: job instruction training, coaching, mentoring, job rotation and committee assignments. Let's start with the job instruction training. Job instruction training, it is a step-by-step training method. Why we call it step-by-step method? Because it involves series of steps. It usually it has 4 steps. This particular training involves 4 steps. Number one is prepare trainee with an instruction and overview of the job. That means in job instruction training, first of all, trainer provides training overview, where trainer gives overview of a particular training, that how he has to perform this particular job. Once he give a overview of the job, then he gives the actual training, then he actually present that how he has to do a job. That means in second step, trainer actually by performing, actually he tells to the trainee that how he has to perform once he is in the job. Then after providing or after giving demonstration by the trainer, then the third step is where he asks trainee to mimic the same way trainer performed. So in third stage, they basically ask trainee to perform the same way trainer performed. So this is the third step. And the fourth step is finally trainer corrects their efficiency, if any. And after observing the whole trainee's effort, trainer try to correct the trainee after correcting the deficiency, if he finds any. So this is our job instruction training. It is also known as step-by-step training method, which usually provided in the organization by the trainer. Next method is coaching. Coaching is also a kind of training in which trainer gives training like one-to-one training. It is a kind of one-to-one training where trainer gives training where he tells all the nitty-gritty things to the trainee, and by which he tries to make the person learn that how he has to perform the job at his actual workplace. So the trainee is placed under a particular supervisor who functions as a coach in training the individual. The supervisor provides feedback to the trainee on his performance and offers him some suggestions for improvement. It works because it is tailored to the individual receiving it. Yes, coaching is a one-to-one method in which the immediate supervisor provides the training to the particular employee, where he tells all the nitty-gritty things which is related to the jobs, just to make him learn that how he has to perform his job, right? So, and it is a tailor-made job. Why we call it tailor-made? Because here immediate supervisor treat the individual according to the person's grasping skills or grasping ability. We can say that here supervisor changed the technique of teaching on the basis of the individual. So it varies individual to individual. That's why we call it that coaching is a tailor-made job, and it totally depends on the individual who is receiving that particular training. Next one is mentoring. Mentoring is also a training method in which a most experienced person or very senior person gives training to the trainee, where they just give a direction to the trainee, and here they will in the mentoring, trainer never tells all the nitty-gritty things to the person, to the trainee. Here just trainer perform as a mentor or as a guide or as a counselor, where they just give the direction to the trainee and rest of the things trainee has to do. So this kind of method is known as mentoring. Mentoring is the training method under which a senior or more experienced person, like the mentor, is assigned to act as an advisor, counselor, or guide to a junior or a trainee. The mentor is responsible for providing support to and feedback on the person in his or her charge. Yes, we can say that mentor is there just to give the direction, just for the counseling, just as a advisory body, but not more than that. Here he will not tell all the small things. Yes, so this is called mentoring. And here even trainee who is learning the abilities or skills from the trainer, he is also very well, I mean, it's not on the initial level. Like mentoring training is normally provide not to the initial level people, it will usually provide to the manager level people. Next one is job rotation. Job rotation is also known as learning by doing, which in this job, in this kind of training, usually trainee learns by working at different jobs. Like we can say that it involves the movement of trainee from one job to the another job, and by moving from one job to the another job, they try to learn the things. And how they learn? By doing only. That's why we call it that it is a learning by doing method. The trainee receives job knowledge and gains experience from his supervisor or trainer. This training is useful to make trainee versatile and gives an opportunity to trainee to understand the problem of employee on other jobs. Yes, we can say that job rotation is a kind of training where person learns by moving from one job to the another job. So we can say that for some period of time, when employee is in one job and he's learning the things who is related to the job, and after some particular time when he shifts to the another job, so what is that? That means he's learning different kind of job related things, and by doing they are learning the skills and abilities that what kind of job will be performed at what way. So this kind of method is known as job rotation method, where person learn the things by having or by moving from one job to the another job. Next one is committee assignments. Committee assignments refers to the method in which the trainees are asked to solve an actual organizational problem. In committee assignments, trainees have to work together in a team and offer solution to the problem. Committee assignment is also a kind of training where trainer gives training by providing a task or the assignment to the employees, where trainee has to work with the team members and give solution to the problem. So it is a kind of teamwork where the trainee has to exchange his ideas and opinions, which is related to the solution of particular problem, and through which he learns the things by working in a team. So committee assignment is a training where he gets the task from the trainer, and by performing that task effectively in a team, he learns the things, right? So that is known as committee assignment. This method of training helps the trainee to develop team spirit to achieve a common organizational goals. Yes, because in committee assignment is something which never gives to the employees individually. Here they have to work in a team, so somehow they also learn that how to work in a team, and somehow they will get a team spirit, or they will have a team spirit, that how they can work in a team. So in this way we can say that through committee assignments they also learn that how to work in a team, how to exchange ideas with the team members, and how to get solution of a particular problem. So these kind of things can be done through this method, that is committee assignments training. So we have finished this on the job training. Now we will discuss this off the job training. As we know that off the job training method is a method which is provided to the employees apart from their actual work spot. That is off the job. And again, off the job is further divided again into 5 parts: apprenticeship training, vestibule training, role play method, lecture method, and simulation method. Let's start with the apprenticeship training. Apprenticeship is a training program for individuals who desire to become recognized in a specific trade or craft and do so in a way that adheres to the most current standards. Yes, apprenticeship training is a training which provides to the employees just to enhance their vocational skills, or we can say that craftsman skills. Craftsman skills, like if I let's take an example of electricians or plumbers, right? If they want to learn that plumbing related skills, or if they want to learn electricians related skills, so for that this apprenticeship programs or training provide to the employees. In this method, theoretical instruction and practical learning are provided to the trainees in training institutes. Yes, we can say that's why we call it that it's a off the job training, because here they will not learn the things at their actual workplace. They send to the different institute where they learn those vocational training related elements or instructions, and they get the theoretical as well as practical knowledge related to that. Generally, a stipend is paid during the training period to the trainees, and yes, in exchange of that they get stipend also, not salary but stipend. Stipend is an amount which is lesser than the salary, right? This is apprenticeship training. So we can say that apprenticeship training is specifically provided to enhance the vocational skills in the employees. Next one is vestibule training. Vestibule training is a method. A training center called vestibule is a setup, and actual job conditions are duplicated or simulated in it. Expert trainers are employed to provide training with the help of equipments and machines which are identical with those in use at the workplace. Yes, vestibule training is a training. It also one of the part of type of the job training, where people get training at simulated environment, or we can say in an artificial environment they get training, right? So that is known as vestibule training. But the thing is that the machines, the equipments they use to learn or to enhance the skills, that is identical or that is actual, which they will use at their actual workplace as well. So we can say that vestibule training is given to the employees at just to with the real workplace feel, or we can say that it normally perform in a artificial environment. So that's a vestibule training. Next one is role play method. It is defined as a method of human interaction that involves realistic behavior in an imaginary situation. Role play is a method of, again, of the job training, where people get the situation, and where different trainees, number of trainees has to perform that particular situation, and tell the trainer that how they will react or how they will behave at that particular situation. So through role play they try to enhance, or they try to learn the skills that in that particular situation how they have to behave. So in this way, by role play method, they try to imbibe the skills in themselves, and through which they learn the particular skills. So it is defined as method involves realistic behavior in an imaginary situation. Yes, that imaginary situation is given in this kind of training, where they have to perform in a certain way. So that's a role play method. This method of training involves action doing the practice. This method is mostly used for developing interpersonal interaction and relations. Yes, because as we know that in role play training, in role play method, they have to behave in a certain way. That means it is useful to interact with the other person. Like let's take an example of salesperson. Like if a salesperson, if we want to give a training to the salesperson where they have to learn that how to behave with the customers, so what will be the how they have to behave, what will be the posture, what will be the body language while behaving with the customer or interacting with the customer. So in that particular situation, this role play method is the best suitable method to give training to the salesperson. So we can say just that role play method is a method which enhance the interpersonal skills of the employees, where they learn that how to behave in that particular situation. Next one is lecture method. Lecture method is a very traditional and direct method of instructions. The instructor organizes the material and gives it to a group of trainee in the form of talk. This is a beneficial to train a large group of trainees. Yes, lecture method is a method where trainer gives a lecture on particular topic, and by listening trainees learn the things or instructions. We can say it is a very traditional kind of method where trainer is at active mode and all rest of the trainees are on passive mode. So we can say that it is useful, and the major advantage of this lecture method is that at one particular time period trainer can cover the large number of trainees at one particular time. So in this way we can say that lecture method is beneficial to cover the large number of people at one particular time. So lecture method is normally given to the trainees just to give the knowledge related to the theoretical things. Like lecture method is required, or it is useful if we want to convey the information or the theoretical information related to the job. Next one is simulation training. Simulation training is an attempt to create a realistic decision making environment for the trainee. Simulation present likely problem situation and decision alternatives to the trainee. It provides an optimum way for employers to assess how well the trainees are putting skills into practice and the decisions they are making in front of simulated real life situation. Simulation training again is a kind of training where a trainee learns the thing in an artificial environment, but the difference is that between simulation and vestibule training is that in simulation training everything is artificial, including equipments and machinery, but in vestibule training equipments and machinery were identical. So in this way we can say that simulation training is usually provided to the employees when we want to make them learn that how to react, or how to learn the things in an artificial environment, fully artificial environment, right? So that's a simulation thing, and usually this kind of training is provided to the people like army people or the soldier. We normally provide this simulation training, or the pilot. Even if we are going to give training to the pilot, so simulation training is majorly used. So that's a simulation training where everything is artificial, including machineries and equipments which they are going to use to learn the things. That's a simulation. So this is the topic. Or yes, we can say that or we can revise the whole lecture. So if we start from the beginning, today we have learned methods, or we have discussed this method of training. So as we know that there are two types of methods of training: on the job and off the job. On the job, at their actual workplace they learn the things, and off the job when they learn the things apart from their actual workplace or apart from their actual work spot. And if we divide this on the job and off the job, so on the job again is further divided into 5 parts. We have already discussed, that is GIT, job instruction training, coaching, mentoring, job rotation and committee assignments. Job instruction training is a training, it is a step-by-step training where number of steps it's required to follow. There are 4 steps. Number 1 is, first trainer gives overview of the overview of particular job. Once he gives the overview, then he demonstrates the particular job, that how the trainee has to perform at their actual workplace. And after demonstration, the trainer asks to the trainee to mimic the same way the trainer did. So after asking and after the mimicry of the trainer gives the feedback also. That means in the last step he gives feedback that how he performed and what kind of correction he has to make the whole operations or whole work effective. Next one is coaching. Coaching, as we know that coaching is what it is, a one-to-one training where immediate supervisor gives training to the employees, where he learns all the things where trainer gives information related to a particular job, which is nitty-gritty things. So in coaching, all the job related information is given by the trainer to the trainee. But in mentoring, they just give advice, they just give the direction or counseling, but not more than that. So we can say that mentoring is more trainee oriented, or we can say that it's more like here trainer gives the power or authority to the trainee to decide the things on his own. But in coaching, trainer decides the things, that how he has to perform. Next one is job rotation. Obviously, job rotation is a learning by doing method where people learn by moving from one job to the another job, and this kind of method is normally given to the people when they want to make them versatile. Next one is committee assignments, where they give small project to the trainees and collaborated them with the employees, so that they can know that how to work in a team, and by giving different ideas for the different problem, they try to learn the things, that how to work in a team and how to resolve the problems. Of the job training also we have discussed. This is GIT, mentoring, job rotation. Yes, we have discussed already. Committee assignments also we have discussed. If I talk about of the job training, again these are further divided into 5 parts. That also we have discussed. Apprenticeship training means which is usually give to enhance the vocational skills of the trainees. Vestibule training is provided to the employees when it is a kind of training which gives in an artificial environment, but the machines and equipment which is used by the trainees are identical in nature. Role play method is a kind of training which normally gives to the trainee just to enhance the skill, just to enhance the interpersonal skills or interpersonal skills of the trainees. So role play method, it's normally given to enhance the interpersonal skills of the employees. And lecture method is what, where trainer use this lecture method to give the theoretical knowledge, to give the theoretical knowledge related to the job. So in that particular moment they use this lecture method. And simulation method is what, where again employees learn the things, or trainees learn the things in an artificial environment where everything is artificial or imaginary, and where they try to learn that how they have to behave at their actual situation. So these are the methods of training we have already discussed, right? So this is today's lecture. Apprenticeship, vestibule, role play, lecture method, simulation. Thank you.